Russia was originally scheduled to compete during the 2016 Summer Paralympics in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in what would have been its sixth consecutive appearance at the Summer Paralympics as an independent nation. Russia had qualified athletes in 10 sports. On 7 August 2016, the International Paralympic Committee announced that it had voted unanimously to ban the entire Russian Paralympic team from competing in the 2016 Summer Paralympics, in the wake of a larger scandal surrounding the participation of the Russian Olympic and Paralympic teams in a state-sponsored doping program. The Russian Paralympic Committee appealed to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, but it upheld the IPC decision. The CAS decision was also upheld by the Federal Supreme Court of Switzerland. The decision to ban the entire Russian team contrasts the treatment of the Russian Olympic team during the 2016 Summer Olympics, whose members could compete if they had independent certification that they had not used drugs, and were cleared by the sport's respective governing body and an International Olympic Committee panel. The IPC's differing stance was criticized by President Vladimir Putin and other Russian politicians, who felt that the IPC was violating the human rights of Russian Paralympic athletes by not giving them the same privilege to defend themselves as their Olympic counterparts. Disability classifications. Every participant at the Paralympics has the disability grouped into one of 5 disability categories. Amputation. The condition may be congenital as sustained through injury or illness. Cerebral palsy. Wheelchair athletes. There is often overlap between this and other categories. Visual impairment, including blindness. Les autres. Any physical disability that does not fall strictly under one of the other categories, for example dwarfism or multiple sclerosis. Each Paralympic sport then has its own classifications, dependent upon the specific physical demands of competition. Events are given a code, made of numbers and letters, describing the type of event and classification of the athletes competing. Some sports, such as athletics, divide athletes by both the category and severity of the disabilities. Other sports, for example swimming, group competitors from different categories together, the only separation being based on the severity of the disability. Pre-disqualification. 5-a-side football. Russia qualified for the Paralympics after finishing second at the 2015 IBSA Blind Football European Championships. Russia opened the qualifying after beating France 1-0, with the lone goal coming from Agora. In the second game of group play, they drew 0-0 with Belgium. The third game of group play saw them draw with Spain 0-0. The final game of group play was against Greece, whom they defeated 1-0 with a goal from Agora. This put them second in the group going into elimination play, where they met England, who finished first in the group. The game ended in a 0-0 draw, with Russia winning 1-0 on penalties. Russia's goal came from Lokshanov. 7-a-side football. The Russian national 7-a-side football team qualified for Rio 2016 after winning the 2015 CP World Championships, defeating reigning European champions Ukraine. They went into the competition as the top-ranked team in the world. The team was in Group B with Scotland, Northern Ireland and Germany. The draw for the tournament was held on the 6th of May at the 2016 pre-Paralympic tournament in Salou, Spain. Russia was put into Group B with the United States, Netherlands and Argentina. Iran qualified for the 2016 Rio Games following the suspension of Russia. The IPC ruled that there could not be a redraw for the groups. This resulted in Iran being put into Group A with the Netherlands, Argentina and the United States. Going into the Paralympics, Russia was ranked second in the world. Athletics. Russia had qualified a number of athletes in track and field. Following the suspension, 2 of these spots were reallocated to Australia. Archery: Russia qualified 10 archers as a result of the performance at the 2015 World Archery Para-Championships. They included 2 spots in the Compound Open, 1 for a man and 1 for a woman, 6 spots in the Recurve Open with 3 for men and 3 for women, and 2 spots, a man and a woman, in the W1 event. Archers helping Russia in their qualifying campaign at this competition included Bato Sidorov, Margarita Sidorenko, Svetlana Barantseva, Irina Rossiyskaya, Sergei Kutakov, Anton Zapayev and Stepanida Artakinova. Cycling, with 1 pathway for qualification being 1 highest-ranked 10 PCs on the UCI Paracycling male and female nations ranking lists on 31 December 2014. Russia qualified for Rio 2016, assuming they continued to meet all other eligibility requirements. Equestrian: the country had qualified to participate in the individual event. Following the suspension, the spot was reallocated. Goalball: the Russia women's national goalball team qualified for Rio 2016 after finishing second at the 2014 IBSA Goalball World Championships. The spot was reallocated to Australia. Judo: with 1 pathway for qualification being having a top finish at the 2014 IBSA Judo World Championships. Russia earned a qualifying spot in Rio basis on the performance of Abdullah Kuramagomedov in the men's 100 kg event. The B2 judoka finished first in his class. Paracanoeing: Russia earned a qualifying spot in the inaugural paracanoeing competition following the performance at the 2015 ICF Canoe Sprint and AMP Paracanoe World Championships in Milan, Italy, where the top 6 finishes in each Paralympic event earned a qualifying spot for their nation. Alexandra Dupik earned the spot for Russia after finishing 4th in the women's KL1 event. Nadezhda Andreeva earned a 2nd spot for Ukraine after finishing 5th in the women's KL2 event. Leonid Krylov earned a 3rd spot for Russia after finishing 3rd in the men's KL3 event. Rowing: 1 pathway for qualification at the 2015 FISA World Rowing Championships was a top 8 finish in a medal event. Russia qualified in the AS men's single sculls event with a 4th place finish with a time of 4:56.780. Shooting: the first opportunity to qualify for shooting in Rio took place at the 2014 IPC Shooting World Championships in Seoul. Shooters earned spots for their NPC. Russia earned a qualifying spot at this event in the P1 10 meters air pistol men SH1 event as a result of Sergei Malyshev winning a silver medal. Valery Ponomarenko earned a 2nd spot in the same event for Russia. Tatiana Rybachenko gave Russia a 3rd spot in Rio, this one in the R6 50 meters rifle prone mixed SH1 event. Sergei Nochevnoy gave Russia the 4th spot at Rio, this time in the R3 10 megameters air rifle prone mixed SH1 event. The country sent shooters to 2015 IPC Shooting World Cup in Osijek, Croatia, where Rio direct qualification was also available. They earned a qualifying spot at this event based on the performance of Antonina Zhukova in the R5 10 meters air rifle prone mixed SH2 event. The 3rd opportunity for direct qualification for shooters took place at the 2015 IPC Shooting World Cup in Sydney, Australia. At this competition, Nikolai Krigan earned a qualifying spot for the country in the R5 mixed 10 meters air rifle prone SH2 event. The last direct qualifying event for Rio in shooting took place at the 2015 IPC Shooting World Cup in Fort Benning in November. Natalia Dalakova earned a qualifying spot for the country at this competition in the P4 mixed 50 meters pistol event. Andrei Kozhemyakin earned a second spot for Russia at this competition in the R7 men's 50 meters rifle 3 positions event. Swimming, the top 2 finishes in each Rio medal event at the 2015 IPC Swimming World Championships earned a qualifying spot for their country. Denis Tarasov earned Russia a spot after winning gold in the men's 100 meters butterfly S8. Alexander Makarov earned Russia another spot after winning silver in the men's 200 meters freestyle S3. Roman Zhanov earned Russia a third spot after winning silver in the men's 200 meters freestyle S4. Andrei Granichka earned Russia a fourth spot after winning silver in the men's 400 meters freestyle S6. The fifth spot for Russia was earned by Valeria Shabalina, who won silver in the women's 100 meters breaststroke SB14. The sixth spot was earned by Ani Palian, who won silver in the women's 100 meters freestyle S7. Anna Krivshina had a seventh spot for Russia after winning gold in the women's 50 meters freestyle S13. Dmitry Kokarev earned the country's eighth spot after winning silver in the men's 100 meters backstroke S2. Yuri Luchkin earned Russia's ninth spot in the men's 100 meters breaststroke SB5 with a gold medal finish. Wheelchair tennis: Russia had qualified 2 players in the women's singles event, Lyudmila Bubnova and Victoria Lvova. Following the suspension, 1 spot was reallocated by the IPC to Shelby Barron of the United States. Another spot was reallocated to Australia. Disqualification. On the 18th of July 2016, the World Anti-Doping Agency published a 97-page report by Canadian attorney Richard McLaren, covering significant state-sponsored doping in Russia. It found that Russia's Ministry of Sport and Federal Security Service had operated a state-dictated system to implement an extensive doping program, which included the use of a disappearing positive methodology, the swapping of positive urine samples in order to evade detection. The report detailed 27 positive samples tied to Paralympic sports, while the IPC found forensic evidence that the DPM had been used during the 2014 Winter Paralympics. On the 7th of August 2016, following the start of the 2016 Summer Olympics, the governing board of the International Paralympic Committee voted unanimously to suspend the Russian Paralympic Committee and ban the entire Russian Paralympic team from participating in the 2016 Summer Paralympics. IPC President Philip Craven cited Russia's to ensure compliance with and enforcement of the IPC Anti-Doping Code and the World Anti-Doping Code within their own national jurisdiction, meaning that the country could not fulfill its fundamental obligation as an IPC member. On the 15th of August 2016, the RPC filed a request for an appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. On the 23rd of August 2016, the CAS upheld the IPC's decision. In a statement, Craven considered the decision to be a sad day and a new beginning for the Paralympic movement, explaining that the ban would be a catalyst for change in the country, and stated that Russia was welcome to return to the Paralympics once it is capable of fulfilling its obligations to ensure fair competition for all. The decision was criticized by members of the Russian government for being politically motivated. Minister of Sport Vitaly Mutko stated that the decision was a flagrant violation of the human rights of Russian Paralympians, by punishing the team as a whole and not granting them the right to individually defend themselves like the Olympic team was. Dmitry Svishchev, leader of the Parliamentary Committee on Sport and Youth, argued that Kaz had shown an unprecedented impudence and lack of principle, and asked, how is it possible to bar the people who would the courage have earned the right to a proper life from the Games? During a ceremony honoring Russian athletes returning from the Olympics, President Vladimir Putin described the ban as being outside the bounds of law, morality and humanity, and announced a plan to hold an alternate event for Russian para-athletes banned from the Games in Rio. On the 30th of August 2016, the Russian Paralympic Committee announced that at least 100 members of the banned team had filed for appeals from the IPC. The committee confirmed it had received these letters, and stated that discussions were ongoing. The next day, following a request for an appeal by the RPC, the Federal Supreme Court of Switzerland also upheld CAS's decision.